Okay, I got to get this off my chest. I had prior to a couple days ago, never heard of this idea of Jesus's mouth sword, right? That's a sword sticking out of the mouth of this character they call Jesus. And it's obvious to me, so glaringly obvious, I'm not going to be able to be polite about this. I'm going to be very rude and very blatant about this, and it's going to seem like I'm being an ignorant asshole. That's why I'm not including the person's name of their channel, who I got this image from. They said that they're going to do a video in the near future regarding the fact that this is depicting the sun, the S-U-N of God. There's the rays, there's the flames coming out of his eyes. And this S-O-N, the Son of God, the perfect person who never sinned and his shed blood is what cleanses you and saves you. That guy is a personification of the sun. The S-U-N, big glowing ball of light in the sky. And I asked this person, I said, so what do you think about the fact that, Buddha was born December 25th to a virgin mother, and Krishna was born December 25th to a virgin mother, and all of these other religions all throughout history, including Isis and Horus, Mithra of Persia, and the list goes on and on and on, of these deities that had 12 disciples, walked on water, died and was risen, died on a cross, and was resurrected 3 days later, and share the same exact story, just with different names. And her response was, yeah, 90% of Christians are all sun worshipers and they don't know it. But God is real and the word is still real. But she's like, but the only word that's real is like the ancient Hebrew, the original Paleo-Hebrew, and everything else besides that is twisted. And man, I am glad. It is truly a blessing that I don't have to filter all of my experiences through all these words. With all that I've been able to show you, without having any of those words that I have access to, God is real. And Israel, get it? Israel? I don't have to filter all of my experiences through all that wordplay. There's two kinds of vocabulary that I just come up with these concepts myself. There's conceptual vocabulary and linguistic vocabulary. Two good examples are Schadenfreude and Shantaishta. Schadenfreude is directly translated as harm joy, and it comes from the German language, because we don't have any language in our vocabulary, our dialectical vocabulary, to describe that concept of harm joy. And heart knowing, Shantaishta. It comes from a Native American language, either Hopi or Navajo. I think it's Hopi. A Native American language, and they don't want us knowing about harm joy or heart knowing. And they both go hand in hand, by the way. Shantaishta and Schadenfreude, harm joy and heart knowing. Harm joy is a joy that you get from the heart, but is the negative kind. It's like heart joy in the negative direction, but it's called harm joy, and it's Schadenfreude. Likewise, they don't want us knowing about heart knowing, Shantaishta, so we don't have any vocabulary words in our dialect to describe these concepts. Right? You can only think conceptually within the range of vocabulary that you have access to. That's why some of us who are on the cutting edge of discovering new and different things that no one has any words to describe, like muse messages or retrocausal language, we just have to make up our own words to describe the experiences that we're having. And so I assure you, God don't give a shit about your scripture or your doctrine or your dogma. God is real, and that's all you need to know. God can show you plenty of things without clinging to Oh, well, I know, yeah, 90% of Christians are all sun worshipers and they don't know it. And the only language that's even real and true is the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. And if you have to dig through all of those words, I'm just going to give you another example of someone that keeps doing the same thing. I'll pull her up here in a minute. It's The Truth Will Set You Free. She goes through and compares the ancient Greek and the Latin root words, suffixes, prefixes. And I'll tell you what, that is a waste of time. Because if you can't see the obviousness that it's not about Krishna and it's not about Buddha or Rama or Vishnu or any of these people when they're all telling the same story. You see, when I first came across this understanding when I was 19 years old, it was before I was 21 because it was when I read David Icke's Children of the Matrix. And he listed the long list of religions that all tell the same exact story. They just put different names on the characters. That was the first time that I ever thought, maybe there is something to this Christianity and it's not just all bullshit. There must be something to it because all these other religions are telling the same exact story, just under different names. So for me, it gave me it gave me hope, or not even hope, just an acceptance that maybe Christianity isn't just all hocus pocus bullshit with a bunch of soft-minded people wanting to take a hardline stance on things they don't understand. By the way, what is this in his hand? That wasn't a story about a guy, a person, the perfect person. You could never be anything like Jesus, even though he said we will all do those things that he did and even greater, because he was sinless. What if I told you he enjoyed sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and he partied it up while he was here? Oh no, he was perfect, his sinless shed blood, and you and that blasphemy. You want to cling to this idea of a human being that lived a life. You want to cling to that shit, and you're going to burn up inside. Because you refuse to see the obvious truth that was looking you right in the eyes. And instead, you wanted to keep thinking, well, I know that 90% of the language is bullshit, and 90% of Christians are actually sun worshipers and don't know it, but I'm going to find that one shred of a piece of the preconceived ideas that I have access to and that I've invested so much of my time, energy, effort, and resources into studying these words, and I got to find the word that's still true, rather than acknowledging this is talking about a fucking solar flare. Duh! You want to cling to that shit and find some sort of shred of what your preconceived ideas and your little pet theories still holds true? Good for you. I don't need people like that. I need truth seekers. We are on the cutting edge of this exploration like Lewis and Clark. And when we get out there in the field and the mountains and the terrain doesn't match your little map that you brought with, instead of redrawing your map, you want to start carving up the fucking mountains? We don't need people like that where we're going. We are going on an exploration expedition as truthers. You want to cling to your preconceived ideas, even though you're acknowledging and admitting, yeah, Christianity is sun worship. It's your emotional attachment to this negative emotional charge that you have inside of you regarding sun worshipers. Like we're so much better than them. They worship the sun, a freaking glowing ball of hydrogen turning into helium 93 million miles away. We worship a person, a perfect person, the S-O-N of God. You want to cling to that shit, you're gonna burn up inside. You cannot no judge can sentence you to 20 years of regret. Only you can sentence yourself to regret or remorse. And if you keep trying to find that one little piece of shred of truth, the good thing about the Bible or any of these other texts is that you acknowledge they exist. The Elohim, the gods. No, it's about one God, one singular God. That multiple God stuff, that's another pagan those sun worshipers worshipped, and we're better than them. Your emotional charge that you're so much better than sun worshipers because we worship the real Son of God, and all of them are worshiping they're all misguided. They're all fooled and deceived. We're the ones that have the truth. You see, when I realized there must be something to Christianity, because all of these other religions are all telling the same tale, it made me realize there is some truth in Christianity. The Christians want to cling to the idea that theirs is the only one with truth in it and all the others are deceived. God, if you can't see how fucking obvious this is, that the Son of God, Jesus, and his mouth sword is representing the sun with those flames coming out of his eyes, and that sword is something more like a solar flare, I don't need you. You're not a truth seeker. You're a comfort seeker. You want validation, confirmation, and reassurance that something that you thought along the way was true instead of relinquishing all the time, effort, energy, and resources you invested into that research and going on a search with me. You want to keep researching the same path. And when we come along this spot along the road, you want to keep looking at your map, because someone else gave you this map, and you know that part of it's still true, even though the other 90% is all off. I'm going to find the one little part of this map that's still true. God is real, and he doesn't need you to cling to those words or those conceptual vocabulary and the lack thereof. You don't believe in God if you keep trying to cling to that shit. When you recognize you got played, I can't lie, I've been played by powerful people who get their way. That's a lyric from the song Cutthroat. If you can't acknowledge you've been played by powerful people who get their way, and you do acknowledge that, but you're still going to find the piece of truth in there, in the BioBot programming manual that you were given to control you and govern you and keep you blind, just like the lack of the word schadenfreude or the shantaishta. We don't have any words in our language to describe harm joy or heart knowing, because they want you to stay locked in your head and not know that there's heart knowing, that there is a understanding and a wisdom of the heart. They want you to stay locked in your head, so they don't give you access to the word, the concept of shantaishta, which is a word in the Native American language that describes this concept of heart knowing. They don't want you having access to that concept, so they keep that word out of your vocabulary because they want to keep you locked in your brain. They don't want you knowing about harm joy, the concept of harm joy, which is a form of heart knowing, and it's a form of corrupt heart knowing, and a joy that you get out of seeing other people suffer. Harm joy. They don't want you knowing about that concept. They want you to keep engaging in it without even knowing what the fuck you're doing. And that's why they remove that concept from your vocabulary, and make sure to remove those words from your vocabulary so you never stumble upon the concept and come to an understanding of what harm joy is. Because once you do, you see people doing it all around you, and you'll catch yourself doing it once you understand that concept. And the way they prevent you from having even access to that concept is removing that word from your intellectual vocabulary. You keep trying to cling to your intellectual vocabulary and all the words that you want to find the one that's still true, and you're going to miss the heart-knowing experience that we're actually here to have. And you can come across a lot more information and come to a lot more truth a lot faster by letting go of your head. Let go of your heart. Let go of your head and feel it now, Babylon. That's the song Babylon by David Gray. This muse message, heart-knowing, the wisdom that comes through the music that's embedded on layers of subconscious that surpass your intellect, that give me the ability to work these lyrics in perfectly, doesn't need you to cling to some word or sift and sort through all these different languages and root words and prefixes and suffixes and the original Hebrew and the Greek and the Latin and the exhaustive concordance dictionary, which compares and contrasts all these words. You know what that's going to do? That's going to keep you locked in your head in a place where they have restricted you from access to the true knowing and understanding. Because if you can't see the obviousness that the story about this guy, Jesus, is actually representing the same exact story that all those sun worshipers portrayed in all their sun-worshiping pagan religions, because you have been indoctrinated with a feeling, a strong emotional charge against sun worshipers. Oh no, we're not those. We're better than those guys. Those stupid sun worshipers. Yeah, we know that we have the real truth about Jesus was the S-O-N of God, and all those other people with their sun-worshipping religions, the emotional charge that you have about that idea is what prevents you from accepting the obvious truth that's being presented to you here. So you keep trying to cling to your pet theories and find something in there that's actually still of value, rather than letting go and acknowledging that God is real, and he doesn't need you to cling to those words. All of that. All you need is the Santa Claus version. That there is a guy in the sky, knows when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, and wants you to be good for goodness sake. Everything else is going to get you distracted and derailed and off track and locked into your mind and unable to receive the wisdom of the heart. And that's where the Spirit speaks to you, is through the heart, not through your head. Let that shit go, or you're going to burn up inside. You're going to burn up. You know the saying, ooh, that just burns me up, when you're all pissed off at yourself, full of regret. Damn it, why didn't I let go of it? Why couldn't I just see how fucking obvious that was? Why was I so stubborn that I wanted to find the peace of my... Because you invested so much in it. Once we've invested in the car in the garage for 20 years and it's broken and it still won't run, but it just needs another $100 alternator. So I'm going to fix the alternator so I don't lose all that seed investment of all the time, energy, effort, and resources that I've invested into this old beater that still don't run, but it just needs one more $100 alternator. So I'm going to go ahead and keep investing in it because I've already invested so much in it, and I don't want to lose all that I've already invested in it. So I'm going to continue to invest in that which I've already invested in, rather than cutting your losses. Get it? I'm not going to give you this speech again. You want to keep looking for that shit and finding some sort of shred of truth rather than acknowledging you got played? We don't need those people on this journey we're going on. We are the Lewis and Clark, venturing into territory unknown. Don't bring your map with you. It will not serve you well, and it will hinder the rest of us who need you to join us in this exploration. So long as you keep looking at your map and trying to figure that somehow is going to help us navigate this terrain, we all have to wait on you until you're ready to say, okay, throw the map away. That thing ain't helping anyway. We all got to sit around and wait for you to fucking try and find some sort of semblance of reality where this map resembles the environment and the terrain that we're going through. How about I've shown you enough that should prove to you you don't need that shit. Sun tunnel, airborne aircraft carrier, black dot craft floating in Pleasant Grove and in Woodbury Fire behind MB3 and in Joe Imbriano's video right above an Air Force base. The portal in the cathedral. The sun tunnel. I showed you the fucking sun tunnel video. Where it opens up, we still have these still frame images that show no less than 4 craft are going through the sun. Doesn't that reinterpret the saying, there is no way to the Father but through the Son? When I've shown you the sun opening up and people going through the sun, or what appears to be a portal directly in alignment with the light source in the sky, that it appears to be the sun opening up and craft transiting through it. Whether it's the sun itself opening up or a portal in alignment with what appears to be that light in the sky that everyone calls the sun, that should shed new understanding on that saying, there is no way to the Father but through the Son, the S-U-N. I've got the fucking visual evidence. They wiped my channel out. 555 subscribers and 100 videos. 555 subscribers on the day they wiped my channel out, which was the day after I filmed the sun tunnel opening. They removed every video I had and every subscriber, and I still have the email. We'll go over that soon, where they said, after review, you're in violation of our community service guidelines. And then a day and a half later, they gave me access to the channel again. I didn't need to start a new channel, Jeff Snyder number 2. I just added the number 2 because in solidarity with Jamie Lee of A Plain Truth. He was on A Plain Truth number 2. He's on to A Plain Truth 10 or 11 now. They gave me back access to the same channel after saying, upon further review, we've discovered there is no violation of our community standards. We apologize for any inconvenience. They did not give me back any of the videos that they took that do still exist. They didn't delete those, just like they didn't delete the 100 or so videos that they listed in the directory when the COVID hit, because they kept taking videos off of my roster a little bit from the bottom up. COVID hit, suddenly 100 videos that they had taken one at a time, two at a time, quietly reappeared. Those videos still existed. So does the sun tunnel video, and you're going to feel like a real fool. Like James True said, I'm going to take you down, buddy, because there's going to be someone else watching that sees how foolish you looked for thinking you know something and wanting to find some other definition or explanation of what Jesus's mouth sword must be rather than a solar flare. Remember? Paula Bears Her Testimony is the title of one of my videos where she said she had a dream. That she saw a big flash in the sky, but there was no boom. There was no boom, she said. Like big flash, like explosion, but no boom. And she was saying this at a store in Park City, and I asked her to repeat it, and she did. God can give you wisdom. God can show you the sun tunnel opening up. Like he did with me and all of these other things. It isn't because I sifted and sorted through all these words. He gave me experiences for which I had to come up with new words because these concepts are outside the range of our conceptual understanding. And if you continue looking for those words that you think might still lead you to some truth, you're just going to keep yourself from receiving the truth that God could have provided you with had you not clung to those words so hard. And just to make sure I'm an equal opportunity asshole here, these are screenshots that I took from a YouTube channel called The Truth Will Set You Free. And man, she has done her homework so thoroughly that she is validation and confirmation of the revelations I received, and I repeat it a lot of times. Those who have the most scriptural indoctrination and or college education are going to have the hardest time getting through this. Stop feeding the Matrix, she says in her own video. The Matrix wants you to expend energy on fruitless endeavors. I will leave a link in the description to one of her videos so you can go to her channel. To assent to obvious lies in some small way is to become evil oneself. One standing to resist anything is thus eroded and even destroyed. A society of emasculated liars is easy to control. Remember that. We're going to go over a Tool song here in a minute. Keep this in mind. Eminem. Yeah, she's done all of her homework. When it comes to the Greek and the Latin and the concordance, the Strong's exhaustive concordance. And she's starting to tap into understandings that she has an emotional charge towards this is good, that's bad, ISIS bad, ISIS bad. If you can't let go of that shit. Oh, yeah, see, she's even done a thing about the kosher pig and then another book that someone else wrote dissecting the kosher pig. That's researching someone's research that researched someone else's research. Do your own search and you will find the truth. Keep researching paths that other people have already searched, and you will not find truth. Because she's starting to tap into understandings about the serpent. Remember the seraphim or the serapeum? Serapis. These are not things that I read somewhere. They came to me. God led me to these understandings. God can lead you also if you believe in God and stop relying on your own ability to try to figure it all out yourself. You need divine providence, not to rely on your own provisions. So she's coming to some understandings about the serpent and what it means, but she's so locked in emotionally, thinking she knows something, that it's going to prevent her from learning anything. See, here's the myths of Mithra, right there. The mysteries of Mithra. Guess what? Born December 25th to a virgin mother, and all the same story as your Jesus. But you got the real version of the truth, and all these other people with their evil serpent and sun worship, they're the ones that are misguided. You just keep hanging on to your pet theories until you're dead. And see where it gets you. Because you know, serpent bad, ISIS bad. You need to let go of that shit, or you're not going to any extent which you think you know something on any given subject matter, it is to that extent that you are incapable of learning anything on that subject matter in that area which you think you already know something. You will not go search for something that you think you already have right there in your hand. Instead, you'll run around trying to tell everyone else this truth that you've found. And then you're no longer seeking. And I said for the longest time, I will never be a truth speaker. I am always a truth seeker. Because once you start speaking truth that you think you've found, you're no longer looking. Somewhere along the way, I was put in the position to do what I'm doing. Be grateful we've been given a return ticket home, and do not fall for the traps laid to keep you here. Guess what those traps are? Exactly what I've just been ranting about for the last 26 minutes. I came to bring fire on the earth, and how I wish it were already set ablaze. Jesus said, I have cast fire upon the world, and see, I am watching over it until it is ablaze. Oh, but that's the Gospel of Thomas. That's one of those evil doctrine that got that Christian to kill his own kids. He must have been reading those non-canonized texts that were part of the book burning that King James and all the rest reduced our scriptural knowledge to a sliver of what it once was. And it was because that guy who killed his own kids, he must have been reading some of that Gospel of Thomas. And those uncanonized lost Gospels is what one of the good Christians said as a defense. As Joni Mitchell says, the good slaves love the good book, a rebel loves a cause. And I need some rebels, not slaves. Like the song Jailbreak by AWOLNATION. I've been working on a jailbreak, got no time for a mistake. Are you a prisoner or a slave? I don't need slaves. I need prisoners who are rebels and ready to get out of this prison. And that prison that we've been locked in is a mental one. To continue trying to find those truths in the sliver of information you've been given access to, which is the BioBot programming manual that the slave master of this plantation programmed us with, is people that I don't need. You see, Harriet Tubman, she went back to the same plantation on the Underground Railroad and freed a lot of prisoners. She didn't free a single slave. And she went to great lengths to make sure that you're not a slave before she even tried to help you. Because she knew that slaves would tell master, hey, master, Harriet, come back. She's trying to help other people get out of here. Because that's a slave who doesn't want off the plantation. She would go to great lengths to find out what your mental state is before she made any plans to get you off the plantation. I've been working on a jailbreak. I need some rebels because the good slaves love the good book. Rebel loves a cause, and my cause is freeing people from Jim Jones Island. And the way I have to do that is by breaking you free from the mental enslavement that is still looking for. But Jim Jones gave us this good book, and yeah, I know that I acknowledge I've been played by some powerful people who get their way that put me on this island, but there's something good in the book they gave me. I know there is. I just know there is. This is a song, 10,000 Days by Tool. Listen to the tales and romanticize how we'd follow the path of the hero, boast about the day when the river's overrun, how we'd rise to the height of our halo. And he sings it in such a chant that I'd have to listen to the song for a minute. In fact, I think I'll do that. Since I threw Truth Will Set You Free girl out there, I got to throw this out there too. It's Sackcloth and Ashes, and she's going to come up with a video that reconciles the fact that she's 90% there but wants to hang on to the other 10% and find those shreds of truth that the word is still God's truth. This song has brought tears to my eyes for the last couple of days every time I listen to it. And I've said before, the hero's journey is a story, an archetype, just like this thing about the son with the 12 disciples and died, resurrected 3 days later. That's a storyline, an archetype that they personify under many different names. Ooh, God of many different names. That's the devil. You want to think you're the only one with the truth and everyone else is deceived, and that's where you're wrong. So, regarding that hero's journey, I'll include the link in the description to this song along with all of these words, which are the lyrics. Listen to the tales and romanticize how we'd follow the path of the hero and boast about the day when the rivers overrun, how we'd rise to the height of our halo. Listen to the tales, we all rationalize our way into the arms of the Savior, feigning all the trials and the tribulations. None of us have actually been there, not like you. Ignorant fibbers at the congregation gather round spewing sympathy, spare me. None of them can even hold a candle up to you, blinded by choice these hypocrites won't see. But enough about the collective Judas. Who could deny you were the one who illuminated your little piece of the divine? This little light of mine, the gift you passed on to me, I'll let it shine to guide you safely on your way home, on your way home. What are they going to do when the lights go down without you to guide them all to Zion? Zion is there must only be one truth and we're the only ones with it and everyone else is the blind ones. What are they going to do when the rivers overrun other than tremble incessantly? High is the way, but all the eyes are upon the ground. You are the light and the way that they'll only read about. I only pray heaven knows when to lift you out. 10,000 days in the fire is long enough. You're going home. You're the only one who can hold your head up high, shake your fist at the gate saying, I've come home now. Fetch me the Spirit, the Son, and the Father. Tell them their pillar of faith has ascended. It's time now, my time now. Give me my wings. And it repeats that a few times. And give me my wings. You are the light, the way that they will only read about. Set as I am in my ways and my arrogance, burden of proof tossed upon the believers. You are my witness, my eyes, my evidence. Judith Marie, unconditional one. I think that was Tool's mom, Maynard. I think that was his mom's name. Daylight dims, leaving cold fluorescence. Difficult to see you in this light. Please forgive this bold suggestion. Should you see your Maker's face tonight, look him in the eye and tell him, I never lived a lie, never took a life, but surely saved one. Hallelujah, it's time for you to bring me home. I'm also going to include in the description a link to Bone Thugs and Harmony, Resurrection. It is some gospel unlike anything you've ever heard. Yes, it's gangster rap. Jesus came to reach the sinners, not the saints. And it is true gospel, unlike anything you've ever heard. Other than a couple of times you might have heard me recite a few lyrics from this CD. Almost every song, if not every other song, some of them are just gangster rap. But this is the last one that they hit hard because once they came out with this, the music industry did away with them and all their thugs didn't like listening no more because they figured out they were being indoctrinated with gospel. I'll include a list of specific tracks that you should listen to and the name of the songs that I like the most in this album. I told you they were some badass Christians about to show up on the scene and that they gave you Ned Flanders' version of Christianity to make it unappealing and unattractive. The truth drop there is that when Ned takes his shirt off, he's buff.